Authorities tracked down and arrested 3 suspects connected to an organized burglary ring. And it all started when a Temecula homeowner discovered a handful of cameras placed across their property. Good evening. This is the KTLA 5 News at 5:30. I'm Cher Count.
What's up, team? How's it going, y'all?
Local law enforcement teamed up with federal authorities to bring these suspected burglars to justice.
KTLA's Gene Kang joins us live in Koreatown, where officials raided a home and took those suspects into custody. Gene.
Hi, Cher and Rick. This is a disturbing crime trend. We know that criminals are now doing this more often. They're using hidden cameras. Not only is it creepy, it is dangerous and illegal. In fact, Colombian nationals were arrested here in Koreatown. A witness tells me that they snuck through these front doors and then suddenly they went through into a staircase over here where they were hiding. Take a look.
I don't get it.
He was just staring at me and I got scared. Cause
Terrifying. Christian Arias couldn't believe his eyes.
There's no way there's 3 people in here. And
3 Colombian nationals, an accused crime trio hiding from law enforcement under his first-floor staircase
Colombian nationals.
in his parents' Koreatown apartment complex by Catalina and 5th Streets. Sounded very sketchy. What did they look like? You said they were dirty?
They were really, really dirty. It looked like they've been running. They look sweaty. So it definitely didn't look like they were just sleeping, because like when I came in that door, it looked like they were kind of like scrimmaging each other to fit in that hole right there.
Sheriff's deputies say Tuesday, 28-year-old Tomas Lopez Granados, 38-year-old Alejandro Aponte Abuanza, and 27-year-old Jonathan Sierra Rincon were arrested. A 4th suspect is on the run.
So they got the 4th suspect on the run. Tomas Lopez Granados. Are these illegal immigrants? They said they're Colombian what? I forgot what they called them. Colombian nationals? What is that? Are they here legally or illegally? That's what I want to know. The mainstream news like never calls things out for what they are. Like if they're illegal immigrants, just say it. Or if they're here legally, then I guess they're Americans. So, or they, I guess, could be deported if they commit a crime, but just speak what they are and make it obvious for everybody to understand. I don't get it, like, because it does matter, because we've been having a lot of crimes that have been committed by people that aren't supposed to be in America, and I just think that makes a difference.
Detective Angel Gasparini tells us they're connected to a hidden camera crime from...
And I'm looking at this, so... Okay.
Earlier this year, a Temecula resident called 911 about this
suspicious
device in the bushes of their yard. The detective says it was a camouflaged pinhole camera for streaming live video with a MiFi hotspot covered with plastic leaves and duct tape. That's what I was wondering.
Those don't even look like real leaves. And then so team, I just want to ask, so the guy said that it's illegal, but I thought that, so this is out in public. I guess it could be on private property, but if I'm not mistaken, you don't have a right to privacy in public as far as recording. So is it illegal because it's hidden? I actually got to look at that. I'm not exactly sure how that goes. I just know that it's legal to film anything or anyone in public. I guess as long as they're like clothed and all that stuff. I don't know exactly. I'm actually going to look into it. I need to just understand the law altogether. I'll take his word that I'm pretty sure this should be illegal, though. You shouldn't be able to survey people like this and figure out their patterns so you can break into their home and rob them. But it's all just interesting.
Hotspot covered with plastic leaves and duct tape. This type of crime is increasingly common in Southern California, with similar incidents in May, in Chino Hills, Garden Grove, Alhambra, and more. But they all have one thing in common. Criminals use these hidden cameras to monitor victims' homes and learn their daily routines to plan burglaries or home invasions. Gene Bertrino, a security expert in former law enforcement, says it's becoming a nationwide trend.
Hold on real quick. I'm going to let him speak. I'm going to go back 10 seconds. So my thing is this. Wouldn't it be the same thing if somebody has surveillance cameras outside of their house that are watching their property? Is that the difference? That if they're recording from their property, then it's okay? Because people have Ring doorbells, obviously cameras that are around their property that can basically watch a wide radius of what's going on. So your neighbors are watching your house at all times. If I was to set up a camera outside of my front door at my house that points out onto the road or looks at the neighborhood, I could technically be watching 4 or 5 houses or even more than that and being able to watch the actions of my neighbors, possibly even seeing their windows if they're open, all those different types of things. So when does it become illegal to do it is what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm not saying what they're saying is wrong, so let's not even get into that part. I'm just looking at it from a legal standpoint of how it becomes wrong and when it becomes wrong. Is it based off the intention of what you're doing? And then when does it become that your intention is to case and figure out people's patterns to rob them? Now, just the fact that they're Colombian internationals, well, they're illegal just being here in the first place. But as far as what they're doing, let's say just take out Colombian internationals altogether. Let's say it's just a normal average Joe citizen and he sets up cameras like that. When does it become illegal? That's my question.
And former law enforcement says it's becoming a nationwide trend.
The whole purpose of it is for them to surveil a house or a neighborhood remotely. There's been a lot of reports about groups from Colombia, Venezuela, and Chile that have been migrating north into definitely California and some of the other southern states, Texas and things like that. And you just have to accept that this is another issue we need to start paying attention to.
Law enforcement has these tips. They say install surveillance cameras, inspect your property regularly for hidden objects. Do not touch any devices as they can be used as evidence in a case, and report any suspicious activity by calling 911.
So you gotta install surveillance cameras so you're watching the criminals watch you. But then they're saying inspect your property regularly for hidden objects. That just seems like a lot of work. I mean, I guess you could do it, and you probably have to, but damn, that's a lot of work. I'm not trying to be shifting through leaves, bugs flying out at me, trying to figure out what's going on, lifting up rocks and all that, and making sure that there's not fake leaf piles next to me, and inspecting tree branches and all that. I mean, if that's what you got to do, it's what you got to do. Safety is always most important, but it's just like, what are we doing? And the problem is that these are people that aren't even supposed to be here that are doing these crimes based off what they're saying, because what were the people they said?
For hidden objects.
There's another issue. We needed things like that north into definitely California, Venezuela. Remotely. There's been a lot of reports about groups from Colombia, Venezuela, and Chile that have been
Colombia, Venezuela, and Chile. Now we know Venezuelans are migrating in here, and they're also even taking over towns as far as we know, but it's not even American citizens doing this. So are us as Americans running over to Venezuela and robbing their homes? We're running over to Chile or over to China, Russia. We're Americans don't go to other. What's crazy is Americans actually only go to other countries to hide their crimes. Like they'll use like a Switzerland bank account to wash money and to funnel money through different channels and all that, dummy bank accounts, dummy corporations and all those different things, or to even evade the law enforcement in America. Like I think Russell Simmons is doing something where they're saying like he's living out in, I forgot where he's living out, but Russell Simmons is living out of the country in a place where basically they don't extradite, because his thinking, or what people are saying, is that if he stays in America, they're going to bring him up on charges for a whole bunch of different cases that he caught. So he just got out of here. But Americans don't go to other countries and commit crimes. So it's just interesting how we end up with all the criminals over here from different countries invading America, and then also extracting our resources through crime, but also through legal means as well. I mean, let's be honest, like they're probably, I don't know what the numbers are, but I would just say that they are very close to being on par with Americans. I just ate at an Indian restaurant. I had vegetable curry, which was really good, and samosa. It's like a taco. It's not a taco. It's like a fried potato and bread, something like that. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really good. It's called a samosa. Look it up. I think is it aloo naan? I had aloo naan bread. That's like a potato bread. I don't know. I like potatoes. Anyways, my point is this. I found an Indian restaurant, but there was like 50 of them. And I just picked one, and it was good. They gave me a good deal for the money that I spent for their food. Was actually fair. It was actually a lot fairer than American restaurants now I think about it. But that's not my point. My point is that when I went into the Indian restaurant, the whole restaurant was ran by Indians. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think they were illegal or anything. They were just doing what they were supposed to do. My point is that they actually create businesses and get legal money out here. It seems like at an equal or a higher level than Americans. Somehow, like, people that are literally like, America's not their first language. Like, they literally speak American, I get English. They speak English as their second language. Like, their English is broken. And they be having businesses out here. I just couldn't imagine myself going to China and just being able to thrive over there with no issues. Like, I'm just going to pull up to China and just, like, start a video game store out there. Or, you know, start a hip-hop record store. I go out there and just set up shop, and it's just going to be that easy. And there's going to be, like, a whole bunch of black people migrating from the U.S. to China and just setting up shop out there and creating businesses. So, and America's a melting pot, and, you know, everybody's welcome out here. And, you know, it's not like white people were here first or black people. I think it was what they say, the natives. We're not going to get into all that. My thing is just like, this whole situation to me is annoying as a homeowner. And, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But you absolutely should always... Let's go on an undirected perspective. We're going to go light for this. I don't really know. They caught the criminals, so I guess they're off the street. There's a fourth suspect on the run they haven't caught yet. So how do we prevent any of this from happening? Well, you have to definitely 100% have surveillance at your home. Listen, team, you have to have surveillance at your home. And I mean inside and out. I got surveillance running 24/7 with alerts. So when I'm away from my residence, any motion or anything that's going on is going to be detected. And even to the point where if you open my door or my window or anything like that within the perimeter of my dwelling, I'm going to get notified immediately that something's not right. And that's just what you got to do. You got to. And you got to have cameras and surveillance. And it's not perfect, but it will deter criminals from wanting to prey on you because they're going to go to the easiest target. And there's plenty of them out here. Plenty of easy targets. So I would be less likely for someone to try to commit a crime against than others. It's kind of the same thing. Like, if you see an old lady walking down the street, hey, you see a guy that's 6'5", chiseled out of stone, you know, walking in his tank top and looking like he's got a CCW and he's carrying his Glock and probably got even something in his ankle holster, and he got a Rambo knife on his side, you're probably going to leave him alone and take the old lady out and just snatch the pearls off her neck rather than trying to snatch his thin little gold chain off of his neck. You know, the big dudes, like, they always got little tiny jewelry on. They never be having, like, if you're like 6'6" and you're big and buff, you should have like a big thick rope on, big thick gold chain around your neck, right? Like, I mean thick, like this. Like, you should be like that side around your neck. But they be having little thin, wiry chains, or they got like 7 of them, and they're all thin. They got a little cross here with Jesus on there. I don't know. But that's all I really got for this. I just wanted to put this out here for y'all because I wanted y'all to be able to better understand what's going on as far as how the criminals are surveying you. And oftentimes, you know, if you think about the people that work on homes and stuff like that, they're usually, well, I think it's like 50-50, but a lot of times you can see like Mexicans and stuff, or like people from different nationalities like that, and they're doing like construction work, which is very common to see. And after they survey your place, they can also just, you know, pull up in a work truck, throw on a vest, hard hat, N95 mask, and kind of have their face really covered up pretty well with all the equipment that you can wear when you're doing construction work, which won't really look that out of the ordinary. And, you know, they can get on your property and not really draw a lot of attention to them because they look like they should be there. They look like they're trying to pedicure your lawn, different things like that. And they can kind of move around and figure out what's going on. And then if they get confronted, I don't speak no English. I know not where I got it wrong at the address. Is the address? No, that's down the street. You should be down there. Oh, Asadi, and then they leave, and then, you know, so yeah. But I don't know. That's where we're at. Protect yourself. Make sure that you're always keeping up with what's going on around your residence, and just use common sense. And never take a day off, because the day that you decide to be relaxed is the day that you got Colombian nationals ransacking your house and taking all of your property. I'm gonna leave it at that. I appreciate y'all, team. Yeah, give yourself a hand. Y'all are the best audience on YouTube and every other site I post to. Just the whole internet. Y'all are the best. I appreciate y'all, team. I really do. I really do. And till the next one. Yeah. Yeah. What do you do if you're in an apartment? How do you protect yourself there? Are apartments more secure than homes? I be thinking about a lot of that stuff. I wonder what would happen if I want to do some research on that. I wonder what's more secure, a home or apartment. I'll probably say an apartment. But then I guess the people that live next to you, I mean, they're just as dangerous. They could really surveil you even easier. They can just be looking right out the peephole, or have a little camera hidden under their door and just know when you leave your apartment, know if you live alone, know if you live with your wife. Apartment might be easier to rob than a home. I guess they both have their security flaws. I don't know. All right, team.
Goodbye.
Out of here.